The world does not reward the honest. It rewards the prepared. And somewhere between your first betrayal and your last disappointment, you learned that lesson the hard way, or you were about to. Niccolo Machiavelli watched empires rise and crumble, watched trusted men fall to the knives of their closest friends, and he arrived at a truth most people spend their whole lives running from. The game does not stop because you refuse to play it. It only means you play it blind, unarmed, and alone. Think about the last time someone smiled at you while quietly working against you. Think about the moment you finally understood that kindness and loyalty are not always what they appear to be. That sting you felt was not weakness. It was the game revealing itself to you for the first time. Most people go through life believing that if they are good enough, honest enough, patient enough, the world will treat them fairly in return. This is the comfortable lie we tell ourselves, because the truth is harder to carry. The truth is that power does not care about your intentions. It only cares about your position. And if you refuse to understand power, power will still find you. It will simply arrive as something that happens to you instead of something you command. This is the first brutal lesson hidden inside Machiavelli's mind. Innocence is not a virtue in a world built on strategy. Innocence is an exposed nerve. Every person who has ever been blindsided by betrayal was not punished for being foolish. They were punished for being unprepared. There is a difference, and understanding that difference is where real strength begins. Now here is where most people misunderstand everything Machiavelli tried to teach. They think his philosophy is about becoming cold, cruel, or manipulative. But that is the surface reading, the shallow interpretation designed for people who never look past the title of a book. The real lesson is not about becoming a monster. It is about refusing to remain a victim. There is a moment in every person's life when they must choose. Continue believing that the world operates on fairness, or accept that the world operates on leverage, timing, and perception. The moment you accept the second truth, everything changes. You stop reacting to life and start anticipating it. Consider silence. Most people fear silence. They rush to fill it with explanations, apologies, and reassurances, desperate to be understood. But silence is one of the most powerful tools a disciplined mind can hold. When you explain everything, you hand people a map of your mind. When you stay silent, you keep your intentions locked away where no one can use them against you. Machiavelli understood that the tongue is often the first traitor. Every unnecessary word is a door left open for someone else to walk through and take something from you. This is not about becoming secretive or paranoid. It is about becoming intentional. There is a profound difference between a person who reacts to every insult, every rumor, every slight, and a person who observes, absorbs, and chooses their moment with precision. One person spends their energy defending their ego. The other person spends their energy building their future. And here is where the deeper twist begins to reveal itself. The people who hurt you the most in life are rarely strangers. They are the ones who studied you closely enough to know exactly where you were soft. This is why Machiavelli placed such heavy weight on understanding human nature, not to become paranoid of everyone, but to finally understand that trust without observation is not virtue. It is negligence. Ask yourself honestly, how many times have you ignored the warning signs because you wanted so badly to believe someone was different? How many times did your own hope blind you to what was obvious to everyone else? This is not a flaw unique to you. This is the oldest weakness in human history, and it is the exact weakness that ambitious, calculating people are trained to exploit. But here is the deeper truth beneath all of this, the one most people never reach because they stop at the bitterness of betrayal instead of moving forward into wisdom. Machiavelli was not teaching cruelty. He was teaching clarity. He was teaching you to stop mistaking softness for goodness and stop mistaking cunning for evil. Strength is not the absence of kindness. Strength is kindness with boundaries. Strength is generosity with awareness. Strength is trust that has been earned through observation, not given away out of fear of being alone. This is the layer most people miss entirely. The goal was never to become heartless. The goal was to stop being a tool for other people's ambitions. Because if you do not master your own position in life, someone else will master it for you, and they will not do it gently. Now think about power itself, not power in the sense of thrones and titles, but power in the sense of controlling your own reactions, your own image, your own narrative. Machiavelli believed that perception often mattered more than reality, not because truth is unimportant, but because most people respond to what they see, not to what is actually happening beneath the surface. This is why discipline matters so deeply. A person who cannot control their emotions in public is a person who has already surrendered their power to whoever knows how to provoke them. Have you ever noticed how the calmest person in a heated argument often walks away with the most respect even when they said less? That is not an accident. That is command over self, and command over self is the very foundation Machiavelli believed all lasting power was built upon. You cannot lead others, influence others, or protect yourself from others if you cannot first master the storm inside your own mind. This brings us to the final and most uncomfortable truth hidden inside this philosophy. Being feared is not about cruelty. It is about consequence. A person who has no consequence attached to crossing them will be crossed again and again. Machiavelli's harsh but honest observation still echoes through modern life. People are far more careful with those who hold consequence than with those who only hold kindness. This does not mean become vengeful. It means stop being predictable in your forgiveness. Stop being an endless well of second chances for people who have shown you exactly who they are. This is the brutal lesson underneath the entire philosophy. The world will not punish you for being ruthless. It will punish you for being naive. And naivety disguised as goodness has broken more lives, more businesses, more relationships, and more futures than outright cruelty ever has. So where does this leave you? It leaves you at a crossroads that every disciplined mind eventually reaches. You can continue moving through life, reactive, emotional, transparent, and easily read by everyone around you. Or you can begin the slow, deliberate transformation into someone who observes before they trust, who speaks with intention instead of impulse, who understands that patience is not weakness, but strategy in disguise. Machiavelli did not write his ideas to create tyrants. He wrote them because he watched too many good people lose everything simply because they refused to understand the game they were already playing. And that is the final truth you must carry with you long after this video ends. You do not have to become cold to become wise. You do not have to become cruel to become strong. But you must at some point decide whether you will study the game or continue being studied by it, because the world does not wait for the innocent to catch up. It moves forward with or without your understanding. And the only real question left is this: will you master the game before life forces you to learn its rules the hardest way possible? Or will you keep walking blind, mistaking hope for protection, until the very people you trusted the most become the ones who teach you the lesson you were never prepared for? Choose wisely, because in this life, there are only two kinds of people: those who understand power and those who become its lesson.